From Plant Lab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name is Car. I'm with my PayPerQ. This guy. Wait, not behind this guy. See, I'm going to learn how to do this one day where I will be as good as weather people. Anyways, how's your day going?
I mean, pointing. My day's going pretty good.
Yeah, it's the inverse thing.
Yeah, it's going good. It's there was at least a few hours earlier in the day, and then
did you sleep today?
Within the hours,
I know you've been sleeping a lot.
Have I? When have I been sleeping a lot? Please tell me about the sleep that I've been having.
You have a blanket, don't you? You have a blanket.
Oh, I have a mattress, and I have a little Japanese mattress that I roll up, and I have a blanket and a pillow that is stuffed with lavender and buckwheat.
Does that make a difference, you think?
No, it has a nice scent to it. If you bury your face in it like you do when you go to sleep, so it's nice. But it loses its. I need to restuff it with lavender. But
lavender, what does lavender look like again?
It looks like a flower.
So it's just flowers in the pillow.
It's like a purple flower, and it looks kind of like you've ever seen wheat. How it's like a little stalk, and then it has little stuffs on it. That's what lavender is, but it's purple, and it smells really good.
Oh, like blue bonnets, but purple.
It's smaller, very tiny, and more aromatic.
All I know is blue bonnets. That's the state flower. You'll see them pop up
in the
summer.
Texas, buddy. That's what.
I don't know. It's the last free place on earth.
All the Bitcoiners are moving to Uruguay. So
is that where they're moving?
I'm just making stuff up, but yes, they are. They most certainly are.
If this is your first time checking out Stacker News Live, my name's Car. We cover the top 5 stories on Stacker.news, the front page of Bitcoin. This guy's name's Keyan. I don't vote on this stuff.
I go by truck.
You go by truck. I don't vote on this stuff. I don't know if Keyan does or not. I think I voted on this. Look, I voted. Does it show how much?
Yeah, we get to see all your votes.
There you go. Well, making it rain lightning. But yeah, we cover the top 5 stories here on Stacker News Live, and voted by you, the Stackers. It's the only place I think that does zaps besides Fountain and Wavelake. Is there any other place that does zaps really well?
Nostr
does Nostr have zaps?
And
or is it just
there's also Zap meme, Zap.meme. There's
excuse me,
more and more of them coming out. Zapping,
I don't know, man. I feel like
is the new thing.
Zapping is the new thing. But anyways, you got a good place here, Keyan.
It's a place on the internet that you can visit with a web browser.
Anyways, we're going to jump into all the top 5 stories today on Stacker News Live, and we'll talk. And I should say this. This pod is blowing up, Keyan.
Is it? What do we got?
We got people doing clips now about us. Apparently that's a thing now.
Well, I mean, we're paying that person to do clips. But
I'm not paying them.
But I am. Because
but I will say, this pod is getting bigger. We got to watch what we say, Keyan. We got to watch what we say. Because we could be burning bridges. We not even know it.
I mean, I say the truth. So
wait, do you say the truth?
I do say the truth. I say what I actually feel. I'm not trying to create a narrative around me being a counter-revolutionary or something. I'm mostly just saying what I think, which isn't, maybe it's kind of boring, but that's what I do. What about you? How do you think about what you say?
I just deliver the news and I give my opinion.
Is that what you did last episode? When you ranted about eCash?
Yeah. Dude, I'm a Bitcoiner and I just deliver the news. I have no skin in this game other than holding Bitcoin. My bags aren't heavy on anything other than Pleb Lab. So that's all I'm saying.
What about the Thriller? Is that a heavy bag?
Hey, it's right here. Or wait, see, I need to get the inverse thing right. It's right there. Anyways,
you'll
Stackers,
never make it in
Stackers.
Meteorology, weatherman.
Just take what we say with a grain of salt. That's all I'm saying. If we upset some of you, send all the email to kk@stacker.news.
Wait, don't do that.
Anyways, we're going to cover the top 5 stories of the week. First top story is I want you for Bitcoin Core /S. This is from Merch, February 28th. BitDevs post, 31 comments, 21,000 sats. Keyan, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, it's Merch just commenting on what it's like generally to work in public. And because when you work in public, you're under public scrutiny, and Bitcoin Core developers are very front and center, and probably only going to be more and more front and center as Bitcoin grows. And it lists out all the issues here, but
can I just say it real quick?
What?
Because it's really, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, is he actually making a pitch for it? But let me just read it to the stackers.
Okay.
It says, work in public with smart people on interesting problems, contributing to bringing about the native currency of the internet, but be under constant scrutiny, be held to the highest engineering standards, be subject to grueling lawsuits, earn below industry average, take 6 months to years to deploy any non-trivial features, explain frequently why the thing you are working on is not easily solved by the first idea everyone has, be called an idiot or a traitor, whenever you don't cater to the latest narrative of Bitcoin. Bitcoin Twitter, be attacked when you share your informed opinion on controversial topic. Also, be attacked when you do not weigh in on a controversial topic. Be accused of conspiring to add backdoors if you dare to discuss an idea with a few colleagues before sharing it in public. Spend 5 to 10 hours a week on manic allegations and degrading by collaborators, in quotations, and random people from the internet. Apply today. Dude, do you think he's right?
No, yeah, it really, I mean, it hurts. I mean, I think this is maybe one of the hardest parts of being a founder. I mean, not just a Bitcoin Core contributor, but I can only relate to a Bitcoin Core contributor from the founder's perspective, but I could write my own version of this that would sound a lot similar for just being a founder with a public facing application, and more so just being public about everything that I'm doing. It opens it up to scrutiny from people who don't really deserve to have an opinion, yet end up getting heard in the same way that someone who deserves to have an opinion does. So I think there is a point. It is, Merch and so many other of the Bitcoin Core contributors, they could go off to a Mang company and, earn a good living, not have anyone say anything about their work ever. And not be pursued in a lawsuit, etc. But they choose to work on Bitcoin Core because it's more meaningful. They have a bigger impact, just like founders. That's why often what they aspire to do is have a bigger impact. But the trade-off is you now become the target rather than people talking about Meta or Google on Facebook and them shielding you, this entity shielding you from criticism. You are now the target of the criticism, and it does suck. It's maybe like some of the worst feelings that I have on a regular basis are from the community, the Bitcoin community in general, just talking trash. And so I can only imagine for a Bitcoin Core contributor like Merch on the backs of Anthony's post about.
Yeah, we can jump into that. But yeah, I would just say Merch is probably one of the most beloved developers in the space, ecosystem. I love talking to Merch. He makes me so happy, dude. And I think a lot of people, and I've told him this personally, a lot of people listen to him, even people that aren't devs. And so when he said this actually resonated with me. It was like, okay, maybe a lot of us are being a little too hard on the Bitcoin Core devs and just devs in general. So it's just good to hear somebody like Merch stand up for everybody. I think Carla talked about it on what Bitcoin did with Peter. She kind of talked a little bit about the constraints and stuff like that. And I think, I've always encouraged people around me to speak up if there's some sort of indifference or friction amongst others, let's have an open door policy about it. And I think this is what I love about Stacker News. To your credit, Keyan, I think this is a good place for people to come and talk about these things. And quite frankly, this is stuff that most people don't want to talk about. Because I think to what you just said, I think a lot of us, me being a community leader, there's a lot of stuff that I don't talk about publicly. I might talk about it privately behind closed doors to you or to some of my other close friends. But, yeah, I agree. We could all write these things and we could all have a differentiated opinion and people would be shocked by what they would hear. But this is the burden a lot of us carry. So I would say, I don't know what it's like, to be Merch or anybody in that position, but I do know what it's like to feel like sometimes you're carrying a burden.
Yeah, and getting attacked for it.
Yeah.
Not just carrying the burden, sacrificing yourself for other people, but then getting attacked by people randomly.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So the top comment was from End of the Mike Dev. This is, he had, your efforts are greatly appreciated, Merch. The public scrutiny you expose yourself to and the selfless dedication in spite of it doesn't go unnoticed. Don't let the bastards get you down. Blue Slime came in and said, you forgot to mention the worst part of it all, writing code in C#.
No, C++.
C++, I'm sorry. And then Merch says, all drats, so true. Then we all are also Toshi said, what a pitch. And then Merch said, doesn't help anyone to hide what they're signing up for. And then even I commented, I said, you know, this is why at Plubba we always do our best to showcase the amount of work and talent that build these technologies. And then I also said, hey, if chain code needs help, let me know. I just, and this is not me just maybe talking my own book, but I just know when I first came in and saw all the stuff that you guys were doing, I was impressed. And then I just realized that there was just no one actually talking about how great these people are or putting them on, you know? That's what I saw early on, but that's why I always do my best to showcase everybody who wants to be showcased. Topher's a perfect example of that. Jim here, Nifty, like whatever y'all need, just let me know. Make sure that people know that you guys are doing a lot of the Lord's work. And which one's my beer? Is this one my beer?
The one that's closest to me is mine.
Oh. Hey, today? Oh, no, here.
Did you order? Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
That's the one.
I was looking, I was like,
to
wait,
you.
did you just drink my beer? You made your party fucking up.
I use the proximity rule. That's what I use.
Oh, is that a proximity rule thing?
That's what I just call. I just named the rule that I use with my beers. I always make sure it's the closest one to me.
Interesting.
So that I don't
I've never
have
heard
to
of
like
such a thing.
Decide.
Might be a West Coast thing, maybe.
Yeah, it's really the West Coast. It's really that's what did it. When it was really Tupac and Biggie and Diddy.
So this post came out of the AJ Town censoring on delving Bitcoin, right? Is that right? What was this about, Keyan? Because I think this caught a lot of people's eye. Yeah. This goes back to what I was just saying about people come to Stacker News to share how they feel about things, especially devs.
Yeah, Anthony has been posting on Stacker News about some of the stuff, some of the ways he's been butting heads with core developers. And I think it was a few months ago, it was on the core mailing list. But since the core mailing list has more or less kind of shut down and moved on, it's now on Delving and Google Groups is where.
What's Delving for the plebs at home?
It's a discourse server that AJ Towns, who is another longtime Bitcoin Core contributor, maintains and runs and also moderates for the purposes of keeping things on topic. But Anthony was on there and got, I guess he was censored a few times. And also...
Wait, he was censored even though he started it? Or am I thinking of two different people?
No. Anthony is not AJ Towns.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should be calling AJ. But Anthony had basically had an issue trying to say some things that they wanted to say on Delving Bitcoin and Delving Bitcoin, and as a result of that, they surfaced some issues that they saw that were going on in Delving, where there were like private discussions that weren't open to the community, including them, that were only revealed later, were happening behind the scenes. And there are some accusations about the conversations that happened privately. As are they doing a coordinated attack on Bitcoin, and that's why it's private? Like, why have it private? I think is Anthony's position. But this was what Merch was responding to. Was he felt like he felt like these accusations are baseless, and yet he still has to contend with them because that's just the nature of his work. Bitcoiners don't trust. So if you're having a private conversation, they are going to assume the worst. If you weren't doing the worst in secret and private, then you still have to face the criticism that you might be, and it sucks.
Yeah, I know from a founder's perspective, if you're not building the open, they just assume the worst of you.
Even if you do
build in the open. But I think that's just the adversarial nature of Bitcoin. I think just in general, I think that just comes with the territory. I don't know if that'll ever be fixed. I think that's just built into the
Humans.
Because humans, or maybe that's just a human thing.
I think it is.
Yeah, maybe you're right there. I think the other thing interesting here was, because I don't really have a comment on this. This is outside of my understanding, so I'm not going to comment on something I don't understand. But I will say, though, we have seen multiple posts like this from a lot of different types of people, not just devs, from clubs. So I've been on the other end of one of these. So like, I know what it feels like to be on the other end of this.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So like, for me, it's kind of like, I know my version of the truth. And I'm not talking about this. I'm just talking about my situation. Like, I know my version of the truth, and that person knows their version of the truth. And sometimes it's just a matter of, like, I don't know, what do you call that? Like, just two different versions of the same truth. I mean, this is probably why courts have problems trying to find eyewitnesses and trying to understand what actually happened. And,
coordinating humans is hard. I think just calling it a coordination problem is what it is, and communicating, even in a relationship with a friend, making sure that they understand you and you understand them. It's a really hard problem. I mean, we have language to try to do it, but language isn't enough. So what we have is now we have a bunch of body language too, to say this is actually what I'm feeling. But like on the internet, a lot of that is gone. We just have language, and the body language is absent. But even body language and language itself aren't enough to close that gap. It's like, how do I make you understand what's in my brain? You can't. It's my brain.
And I think this is where, like, for me, like, I even go out of my way to do this. Like, obviously, you'll send updates via email, but then I write too. So I'll write to get my thoughts out there so people know where I stand on a lot of things. And then also I'll just talk in person to people around me in the circle. And then we'll do podcasts, right? So there's like 4 or 5 different things you got to do as a person of what would you interest, I would say, interest of others that you're coordinating, right? Like when you are in a position of some type of coordinating individuals for the better part of a community, let's say, you have to be even more transparent and open with a lot of your dialogue and present your stance on a lot of different platforms. And I think that just comes with, that's the thing that I learned early on by watching others do it. And for me, that's how I just operate. But to each their own. But I don't know. Do you have anything to say about that? I know you do that. You do the newsletter. You do this podcast. You're also on Stacker News. So you're constantly reiterating how you feel about a lot of things.
That's not intentional.
Yeah, it's not intentional. But if people say, well, how is Keyan feeling about nostr these days? Right?
Yeah. I mean, they have a few ways they could maybe tell.
Or they could just reach out to you.
Yeah. I think it comes with the territory, being public and being somewhat in charge. Part of the milieu of the people making decisions. You are going to come under scrutiny. Like the biggest, I think leadership isn't about leading. It's about taking more hits than anyone else. That's really the way I think about it. It's I'm willing. Like leadership is the way I understand it is being the person who's willing to suffer the most, and not so much the one who is pleasured the most or the most satisfied. It's the person who is willing to take the most heat, the most pain for the benefit of whoever they're leading. That seems to be more so a part of leadership than anything else. And, that goes for core as well. It is a leadership role as a core developer.
Also, what's interesting too, like it's funny you brought up leadership. I literally wrote an article about leadership 2 weeks ago or like a week ago, and that I've been spitting in my head. And the reason I wrote that is because people have asked me multiple times, Car, are you a leader? Do you feel like a leader? And I'm like, no, I don't feel like a leader, And I wrote about it because I was getting tired of people asking me that question. Because I don't think there is. I think there's decentralized leadership in Bitcoin, if you can call it that. I think what happens these days is we have a lot of people delegating their truth and speaking for others. And I think there just needs to be more decentralized leadership. And so if you're interested in reading that, go read it. But this is where I think go back to what I said earlier. Like we need as individuals, for people that are in these positions, if you want to call them that, sometimes you're just kind of thrown into that position. I'm one of those. And you kind of just have to run with it because fiduciary duties, bro.
Fiduciary duty. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think leadership is good for people. I think responsibility is good for people. I think it really pounds you into
person you didn't know you could be.
Yeah, exactly. The responsibility is like a machine press, and it makes you into something more pure than you were before. And I think that's great. I think more people should do it, but it does suck in so many ways. I mean, it has its moments, but
it was funny. There's a post here. I feel like we're rambling now, but who cares?
Yeah.
There's funny.
No one's watching.
Someone's watching this. It was funny because there was a post here on Stacker News. They were like, you get paid minimum wage. No one gets paid minimum wage. And then I was thinking of like ourselves, Keyan. I was like, I'm pretty sure if you added all the hours, I definitely get paid minimum wage.
Yep.
And it's not even a question of me just saying like how much I get paid. I'm like, I definitely get paid minimum wage to do Club Lab.
Oh yeah.
Because and it goes back to what Merch was saying. Like, this is not about wages. This is about trying to make a difference in the world. A lot of us are mission focused. And so just the stackers that are listening, show a little grace. Plebs that are listening, show a little grace. Show a little grace to these people. That's it. That's all I'm saying. The next top story is revisiting great consensus cleanup. This is February 24th. Bitcoin post from Moneyball, 9 comments, 13,000 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of talk about soft forks going on. There's the OpCat stuff going on, memeing from the Taproot wizards. There's the CTV people who are, mostly attacking scaling issues. There's a lot of what is Bitcoin soft fork? Because we have a soft fork during bull runs, right? As kind of the cycle rule. And so
other? Or no.
It seems like every bull run we have a soft fork. We had Taproot, and before we had SegWit, and those were more so. There was one. So you can do a mapping on those, but we're more actively talking about soft forks. It seems like there might be a need for some sort of soft fork. It's worth trying to get through. But what should we do? And Moneyball argues that we should do the consensus cleanup soft fork.
What's this?
It solves a number of edge cases that are pretty significant in Bitcoin's consensus. They list them out there, but one of them is the time warp attack, which has a really cool name.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, but it involves difficulty adjustment, and when that happens, if you have the majority of hash power, you can actually make difficulty decrease. Rather than increase, even if it is increasing, and therefore mine blocks really fast. I think someone did the full workup, and they said that you can mine all remaining Bitcoin in 3 weeks if you under some conditions. It's probably very hard to meet those conditions, but there are other ones that are threaten the network, like non-standard transactions. It mentions one that is somewhat of a is a DOS vector and could create a fork in Bitcoin. And now we have a bunch of venues that are coming online to put non-standard transactions in Bitcoin, like Strip Stream from Marathon. That people could more easily do these attacks than ever before. By issuing non-standard transactions or getting them mined.
How do you guys keep up with all this, dude? This is insane. As far as like all this technical conversation and all this kind of stuff, this is insane.
Optech does the best job. I think they have such a great collection.
Who does Optech, by the way, Keyan?
I think it's right there. You go to about.
No, I'm saying that sarcastically.
I know Merch contributes to. I know Merch contributes to it, but
Caro, look at all
these
legends.
A lot of the core guys. I always forget their names, but Carl Dong, who has Obscura, which is that VPN service. I think Harding does a lot of work on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to the sponsors. Cool.
Is OG.
Sorry to throw you off. I just think it's worth mentioning since we're kind of, they're not getting a lot of credit for stuff that they do.
Yeah, but this is another, maybe this is a better soft fork. It's not a new opcode. There's no one on Twitter that's going to cry. No Bitcoin conservative, I think, that would cry about this one. But it is like a valuable thing for us to do, and it is technically a soft fork.
And that's the first one here, the consensus cleanup soft fork.
Well, yeah, this is the summary of the soft fork, but all of those issues are addressed in this soft fork.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know enough of this stuff. I don't keep track of it, but I'm sure you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of, I mean, you could do so many things to Bitcoin. This is one of the more conservative ones that needs to eventually be done anyway. So it's like, why don't we do this? Maybe we do 2 soft forks this cycle. I don't know.
So we had EK with the top comment said, maybe this is, or he's quoting, maybe this is the next consensus rules change instead of Opcat. Then he said, I listened to the Shinobi on what Bitcoin did yesterday, and now I'm scared of Opcat. Wow. Kepford said, why are you scared? Scared of Bitcoin ossifying? And then EK said, yes, another extreme of Bitcoin becoming a platform is described in the episode. And then he talks more. Blue Slime said, yes, please. Fab says, what's the matter now? Question mark. So it just looks like the stackers are kind of, looks like it's split.
Yeah.
But anyways, great posts.
Yeah.
Great posts all around. Let me close all these. The next top story is show SN Cypher.Space. This is from Cypher.Space, open source post, February 26, 16 comments, 25K boost, baby. 8,973 sats. Keyan, can I get a woo doggy?
No.
This is Cypher, dude.
It's Cypher.
If I had all the money in the world, Cypher, I would just bring you to Plub Lab.
Would you really?
Yeah, dude. He's brilliant. He was in Top Builder. Yeah, he was in Top Builder. He just didn't make it, you know.
Past the cut.
He just, yeah. But it wasn't because of his idea or anything. These other guys were moving faster. But it's great to see him continue this, because I think when I saw this, I was blown away back in December when he showed it to me.
Yeah, this is cool. So this is it's basically like Ghost, sorta. It self-hosts, open source, self-hosted, but Bitcoin and nostr, bent towards Bitcoin and nostr, but it also in addition to being like Ghost in terms of a blog, it also has like a Shopify element, so you can sell things for Bitcoin. What's really cool is that makes a lot more sense for a Bitcoin focused product than any other one, because there isn't this fiat connection required, which is just a nightmare for anyone. Yeah, this is really cool. I mean, this is I could see this being the next generation of BTC Pay server. It's not just Bitcoin payments. It's a whole store. It's a whole blog with Bitcoin payments in it too. And that makes sense. All of these applications, especially these open source ones that are self-hosted, those will be layered too, not just core protocol stuff. And so,
yeah, he's brilliant. He's brilliant. I've been saying it back in December. Remember when I came out here and I was like, I met this brilliant guy. No.
Yeah, you were running around. So
I was shocked. I was like, what? Anyways, if you're a foundation out there and looking to support somebody who's doing something epic, this is the guy.
OpenSats. It's on, balls in your court.
Rain him. Drop it on him. Just drop it. I got no count. Great MVP. Can't wait to see how you'll develop further the CMS functions. I'm so tired of dealing with WooCommerce and have been looking for alternatives. I agree. No count. Got Hashtagger. He says a free Bitcoin only self-hosted WordPress and Shopify alternative. Nice project. Keep up the good work. 026 Lightning Note said, looks cool. Any plans to have the webhook channel be something like a matrix room? Cypher.Space said, thanks. Not super familiar with matrix rooms, but as long as the room can receive a JSON, I think it should work already right now. Based. Yeah, man. This is bullish. I'm just so glad he continued it. And then he just dropped an update here, Cypher monthly update. He said, let me start with thanking all of the great feedback and most responses have been wonderful and clearly indicate a need for this, build in some form. Dude, I feel like Stacker News is turning into a builder community, man.
It's what it's meant to be. I thought it would I wanted it to be protocol people, but I think they want to be.
You're kind of snobbish in the early days. You're like, I only want.
No, it's not what I only wanted, but I thought that would be what it would be oriented towards, because there weren't many products when Stacker News came out. There weren't a lot of Bitcoin products. So I was like, who could this be for? Maybe it's for protocol people, but they never showed up, at least in a way that I could measure them.
It just turned into a bunch of builders, and
now it's product. Now it's people maybe more that I have more in common with. It makes a bunch of sense. But
totally, man. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. I love seeing these updates. I love seeing all the stuff that gets dropped on here. And then Random said, thanks for the update. It's funny because I think Max said that early on. Max? Hive Mind Max?
What did he say?
I think he said what you just said, that it was going to be a very niche community.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is niche. I think what I'm noticing is that there are influencer-run communities in Bitcoin. There are protocol-run communities in Bitcoin. I feel like where I think Stacker News is doing something interesting is it feels like moderates. It's like moderate to maxi, who are maybe don't fit in either the influencer communities or the protocol communities find themselves on Stacker News. It's like where the communities meet with each other, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah,
something I didn't expect.
it's kind of interesting too because you'll never see an influencer on Stacker News. I think the only influencer we have is like sorry, Jimmy.
I don't consider Jimmy an influencer, though.
But I mean, he kind of is.
He's not peddling influence.
Yeah, that's true. But sorry, Jimmy. But yeah, he's the only, if you would put in that kind of tier of influence, affluent.
Oh, right. He has influence.
Yeah.
I don't think
he's influenced me, you know? Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's the only one that comes.
I consider influencers people who are trying to use their influence. People who are trying to get people to do what they want to do.
That's it. So you're saying you're talking about influencers, not from an affluent or looking to inspire like Jimmy. You're saying like influencers that are looking to hurt a community or get them to
their product
psyop, basically.
Their product is to change people's minds in a way that they benefit from. That's I don't see Jimmy as that person.
No, he's not. Yeah, in that sense, though, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the delegating your responsibility as a self-sovereign Bitcoiner to your influencers. Don't do that. It's not the way to do it.
No, I think it
don't just take somebody's word for it.
Bitcoin will run over people like that, I think.
Oh, totally. Take advantage of it. Anyways, I don't know how we got on this topic, but great post, Cypher.
Yeah.
Next, number 4, right?
Number 4.
Next top story is introducing PayPerQ. This is your new default GPT-4 experience powered by Lightning. From Matt Alberg, 0, February 28th. Bitcoin post, 42 comments, 25K boost, baby, 9,986 sats. Can I get another woo doggy Keyan?
You never got one to begin with.
Dude, this is epic. Can you tell me what it's about?
This is really cool. So he made like we know someone who's doing similar things with Cascader, but they made a ChatGPT interface that allows you to pay with Lightning to access their own personal ChatGPT API access.
It's cool, dude. This Lightning L402 stuff is taking off.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. I mean,
take it off.
I know Roast Beef is like super into this stuff, and they actually thought this was their whole idea. Like when they started Lightning Labs, they wanted like a more Bitcoinized web. That was kind of Roast Beef's thinking around it, but it didn't come on that way. But it appears to be now coming on, I think, more significantly, and I think it will over time. I think it was just earlier than.
I mean, there's 2 projects in Austin that I know of that are doing the L402 stuff. Both of them are in Pleb Lab. So, I don't know. Maybe there's others that are doing it inside of Austin.
What's the other one?
Christopher's Open Agents.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him around.
He's busy. But that's what I was going to say is like, I think this is just where it's headed. Call me crazy, but it looks like it's happening. Did you see the Lightning Labs newsletter?
Yeah, the first one in a few months. Once the pump hit, Gentry hit that send button. It must be. I think he might have like some kind of. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a buy or a stop
or
order.
Or he's just busy, dude. Like that guy's a busy guy. Anyways, we got David Doe in the top comment said, "Nice work. Any plans and desires to reduce the reliance on OpenAI?" Matt says, "Definitely. I plan to open up to many models, both proprietary and open source. For now, I wanted to focus on ChatGPT-4 because it's the highest quality from a working dev's perspective." Crypto Sensei said, "Could you expound on why you think ChatGPT-4 is superior to Gemini?" I mean, isn't like Google's? I tried using it. It's just horrific.
I haven't tried it, but I did see something where someone.
It's not even something. It's bad, Keyan.
Someone tried to summarize Murray Rothbard, and it refused because they thought Rothbard's idea.
This is why we need Bitcoiners building stuff.
Extreme or something.
Bitcoiners should be. I said this from the beginning. Bitcoiners should be replicating everything that you see out there.
But yeah, we
Because
should only be buying from other Bitcoiners.
No. Well, that too. But I would say because like you're going to get this, whatever you want to call it, whatever label you want to throw at it, it's just not going to be what us as Bitcoiners want aesthetically or need in the world. Just saying, not a lot. Not
Can
a lot.
Can you speak to that? What
I think primarily it's the AI stuff. I think the AI stuff is super concerning right now, especially if we, like you saw, I don't know if you saw the news, but Elon is suing OpenAI. So like, I think it's very concerning where you're seeing this kind of, hey, we're going to go this way, and then just like go that way. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, we need this. We need more.
Yeah, but what is it? I'm curious. What is this? I think I get a sense for what I would say
is like, we need more open agents. We need more cascaders. We need more
privacy.
We need more
which means
PayPerQ. We need more infrastructure.
ppq is using ChatGPT, which has bias.
I mean, like even Jim is using ChatGPT, but eventually they'll move to their own self-sovereign stack of a sort, right? I think just from what I'm telling, I can see out there, even newsletter stuff. Like, we got kicked off of our thing 2 weeks ago.
What is it? It's Monkey something.
No, we don't use now, and it was MailerLite, which has been working fine. But as soon as we use one word, that's Bitcoin, we get targeted and we get kicked off. That's what I'm trying to say is like, I think we're just moving into this world of our own infrastructure as far as Bitcoiners. It's not a bad thing. I think it's an opportunity that we should all embrace. And then, this is what Cypher's doing. This is you're seeing here. I think it's just inevitable. And these other people aren't gonna budge, man.
I don't know. It certainly doesn't seem like it. There's a guy who maintains a website where he periodically scores all of the popular AI chat services, and all of them end up in the quadrant of like left-leaning socialist-ish politically, rather like. So like these systems do have a bias. I'm not, a lot of the explanation is that they have an internet bias. The internet is predominantly left-leaning. I'm not sure. I think that's true to some extent. I'm not sure it's entirely true. But even Elon's Grok, which he claims is like, politically bipartisan or whatever, impartial, it ends up in that left quadrant as well. So. Yeah, it does make you question if we become very dependent on these things to think for us. I'm even gives incentive for people to.
I use Google for a lot of our stuff, but I'm even considering like moving away from that now. That's how serious it's gotten for me personally. I shouldn't be using it to begin with, but now it's like, okay, this is concerning.
Yeah, there are a lot of alternatives out there. There's a little bit more work, but they're all getting way better.
Yeah, but if there was a Bitcoin version of Google.
BitcoinSearch.xyz.
Oh, nice.
It's for technical search, but
the final top story.
Kagi is another great.
Is this the final one?
It's a paid search engine. This is the final top.
The final top story is tip of the day. How can I run a Lightning node without full core? This is a Bitcoin post, February 26th. Oh, wow. Darthcoin, 20 comments, 7,881 sats. Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, so this is Darthcoin. Sort of instructing. It's half an Ellen bits recommendation and half a running a neutrino node or a pruned node, a pruned node, and he links to several walkthroughs he's already made or tutorials he's already made on how to get running with a neutrino node. This is like you're not running a full node, and in some cases you're requesting from peers transactions that you don't have because you don't actually have all the data to verify them. But he's making people aware that this is something they can do. You can have a relatively low resource usage, self-sovereign Bitcoin instance, more or less, by running a Lightning node backed by a pruned or compact block filtering Bitcoin node. That's what he's doing there, and for people, and he also recommends for anyone who is running a full node to configure their Bitcoin core instance to serve peers who might be running compact block filtering nodes.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been diving more into a lot of this stuff here recently just because of the price going up, and we're selling tickets now through ZapRide. So I've been dealing with a lot of this stuff too.
How's their ticket selling software?
I'll talk about that in the show, Keyan.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to peek under the lady's dress. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's private. What was I going to say? But anyway, yeah, this is well-timed, Darthcoin. Everybody needs to be running a node at this point. Got Lux with the top comment. It said, tips and tricks. I really like you can put Ellen Tips bot as funding source. Sets up in a minute. No hassle when you get a message in Telegram when you get paid. And Darthcoin said, yep. Also, Albi, Ibex, another LM Bits instance. We got Nikos said, this is an excellent guide. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, well-timed. I think this is just well-timed. I think what we're seeing now is just a lot of new entrants, at least because I'm getting these DMs now randomly. And I'm realizing, we're seeing a new surge of Bitcoiners come right now. So it's time to recycle the stuff, boys. Let's get it going. It's time to recycle it.
Yeah.
Because no one knows who you are. Start all over again.
Reinvent yourself. Change your name.
You can change your name?
Change your location.
You're going to change your name, Keyan?
Change your skin color. Am I going to change my name? No, I think I like Koob a lot. I've gone through many names over the years.
Nice.
My nim on GitHub is Curly Ice, but I should probably change it to my main nim, which is Koob. I am the Koob.
Yeah, I don't have a nim. My whole life's a nim.
Your whole life is a nim?
Just kidding.
Well, because you operate under a nickname most of the time.
This is not my real name. All right.
What is your name?
This is okay. So that's
Sebastian.
it. That's it for the whole shebang. Now you can just tune out. After this, we're just going to go into shilling our own stuff and.
Not really. I mean,
are you?
I'm going to say my favorite stories.
Oh, okay. So we're jumping into Keyan's favorite stories. And then we're going to go into the shilling stuff. Keyan, go for it.
Yeah, I thought this was a great post from David W. I wanted to make sure it got mentioned. For some reason, didn't get in the top 5, but it's a great document on running
more or less Ross from
a privacy-focused company, the way you should think about it, why you should think about it, why you should do it. We're seeing a number of companies crop up that are not 10 times better.
Yeah,
they're merely
I already bookmarked it. Cool.
They're merely just as good and private. Because
this just stresses me out, David. To be honest, keep going. This whole thing,
privacy.
No, I need to go and do all this stuff. It's just stressing me out. But no, to some of the stuff he talks about. Yeah.
Oh, privacy policies. Yeah, thinking through having a roadmap for privacy.
Gosh.
Yeah, I think it's all great stuff, but he did it for you. Otherwise, you'd have to write this list for yourself.
Usually, you'd pay people $5,000 for this.
That's right, but he did it for a few $5,000.
He did it for some sats. Here, let's just do this. Let's just zap him 1,000. There you go.
Yeah,
that's life-changing money here in a couple of years.
Could be. Anyway, it's a great little guide. I mean, I think the making the privacy policy simple is one of the standouts there. A lot of them are very convoluted. I think ours is probably too complex, even though it's not very long. It's maybe 2 pages, but we did just copy it from somewhere else.
I would say just get a lawyer. We use a lawyer that has a lot of the stuff pre-made, and also he takes calls and he can go over it with you specifically.
They're kind of the problem because what they're trying to do is. They're trying to protect you from every possible angle. So there's stuff in our privacy policy that's it doesn't apply to us.
It's better to know the truth and where it fits in the law than not to know. Keyan.
I know. Well, the issue is these privacy policy documents aren't written because this is what the company is doing. It's written because of
CYA, man.
Tort, frivolous lawsuits get filed.
Yeah, CYA.
And anyway, but I think this is a great reminder to anyone who's running a company that the model that currently exists is not the one that you should be following.
This is great stuff, man. I need to get David on the pod. I need to get him on the pod, man. Just more and more, I just see constant content from him. That's just really, really good. Thanks, David W. This is from Cypherpunk. He said, it's great feeling when you semi-conscious thoughts spontaneously appear in text at the top of Stacker News, written in better detail than you could have hoped for. Produce yourself. Yeah. That's how I felt too. It was just crap. Saylor says this title is a really good company name, in my opinion. What was the title again? Privacy Bed. Yeah, that's pretty good. Anyways, Stackers. There you go.
There you go, Stackers.
We're gonna jump into my top stories of the week. Top builder. We announced the final round. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it because you told me about it.
We got Cascader.
Wow, is Cascader at the top? Or how are these ordered?
No, they're just random order.
So, okay, now
Yeah, you kind of have to say that. I didn't.
Are these ordered by how close they're sitting to you in the line?
No, I'm not voting. So like we have Cascader.
Really, you're not voting?
No, I'm not judging.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude.
Out of your hands.
Delegate this.
That's the way. That's decentralized.
Got to delegate it.
I like that.
Delegate the responsibilities for some of this stuff. I can't make a decision like that. BitScript, Coracle, Yopaki, Shopster, Clams. Yeah. Really, really cool stuff. Have any of these people reached out to you, Keyan?
Let's see. I know I talk to Jim all the time. I talk to, that list Carlos there, but I mean, Carlos is, I've seen Carlos around the lab, but, I talk to Francisco about Yopaki all the time. John, I don't know if I've talked to much directly.
From Coracle?
I've been you asked me to DM Set Zeus, and I DM Set Zeus. I don't know. They responded, but then they didn't respond.
He's busy building.
He's busy building. But yeah, I think I've had some interaction probably in some fashion.
You've met John before. I don't think if you remember John, but you've met him.
I'm like that. Yeah, I probably have. It would probably take a time.
Yeah.
He needs to tell me he's Clams. He needs to tell me he's Mr. Clam. And
when you approach Keyan, approach him by your project name.
Yeah,
or your stacker name.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Come with your project name, or don't come.
Anyways, yeah, this is the top builder teams. We have one last workshop. Me and Logan are so tired of workshops on Saturdays, Keyan. We're so tired. We've been sprinting. But we have one more workshop tomorrow. Our good friend Simon's coming and should be good. And then
you guys try to put so much effort into them.
It's because we care.
I know, but you can care and still not put effort into stuff. That's what I do.
That's not how we do it.
I don't know.
This is the bar. We always come well below it, and it upsets me. But
well, you guys know how to limbo.
The other thing I want to talk about was, did you see this? So I posted a poll last week because after we started talking about predictive programming, and everybody believes in predictive programming on Stacker News.
Not everybody. There's
pretty much everybody.
12%.
Yeah.
Probably.
And number one post was from Siggy. He said, I'm taking, that wasn't really a post. Then the other one was, you can't do that, .net. He said, yes, but its intent and effect is commonly exaggerated. And he goes into the list why.
Yeah, I think there are several takes on this. I think there's definitely, I think there's a correlation, certainly. Is it causal? What's the purpose? I think that is all up for debate. It's very interesting to talk about, regardless of all the conspiracy stuff.
I love seeing all this stuff. I mean, I imagine at some point I don't want to say make a decision on this stuff, but I feel like at some point I'll come to a conclusion with this stuff, but I haven't yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair.
But where do you think we are right now? Do you think we're in the middle of all this, or do you think we're in one of these a little bit more than the others? Have you seen all this stuff?
I think we're definitely in Soylent Green territory.
I've never seen that. What is that? Is that a 50s movie or something?
Yeah, I believe that's when they were. I've watched that movie before because it was in the Criterion techno thriller section.
So you think we're here?
Yeah, I believe they're feeding people like other people is basically they're having people commit suicide. What do they call it? Where people choose to commit suicide, but they take their bodies and they turn them into food for the rest of the population. And that's what Soylent. I feel like we're like that. I feel like but Soylent Green also means Soylent, the tech company that is a thing.
I feel like we were here in the Matrix for the 2010s.
Early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we were here. Now I feel like we're actually right here, 1984, Fahrenheit 451.
Ooh, yeah, we are.
I think we're right here somewhere. And I think eventually we'll move over to this side of 1984, where it's in the They Live.
What does They Live?
You need to watch it, but they just straight up attack. You fight back at that point. It's when you fight back. Yeah, but we're not there. I think we're here. We're on the Burke, getting close to Burke Book burning.
Book burning. Oh, we definitely already have book burning. Have you seen what Google thinks the founding fathers look like?
Yeah, it's a disgrace. Anyways, check out that post. The last thing, the other thing I wanted to bring up was Saylor Moon. So Jimmy wrote this post just like an hour ago. Dude, did you read? I know you probably didn't read this because you're reading all the other stuff, but he literally talks about the same thing that we've been talking about, how MicroStrategy is just setting the standard for how you conduct business in a Bitcoin era. And I've always said this too. I think what Saylor is doing is going to be taught in history books and just taught in just in general. And I think a lot of Bitcoin companies are already doing this, not to this degree where he talks about leveraging loans and stuff. But I will say though, MicroStrategy is going to be buying up a lot of these fiat tech companies very soon. I think.
Why would they do that? Why would they even trade out of their Bitcoin for a fiat tech company? Why not just keep the Bitcoin?
I don't know. Where else would you build a war chest like that?
Dude, you just keep stacking Bitcoin. That's what he's going to do. Why would you like? He could have.
But even stacking that much Bitcoin is an attack vector, though.
No,
you don't think so?
Attack vector to who?
What do you think?
To Saylor himself?
No. What do you think?
To Bitcoin?
No. Well, yeah, a little bit, but who do you think more? Say it, Keyan.
I actually don't know what you mean. I'm trying. That's why I asked.
Governments around the world.
Oh, governments will come after him because it's a publicly held company holding.
Have you not seen The Good Shepherd? That's how this works.
Yeah, I'm not sure that matters. At some point he'll have so much money and so much power. I mean,
so you think he'll just be King Saylor of the world?
I just don't. The government is already run by money. Have you seen the people running it? Like, it's all corrupt.
The lizard people?
So
I'm just kidding.
Why wouldn't Saylor could corrupt them too if he wanted to?
Anyway, Stackers, check out this post. It's great. Yeah. Excuse me. And then the last thing I want to talk about was Apple walks back decision to disable home screen web apps in EU. Mac Rumors keeps showing up on Stacker News for some reason.
I think Dead Beef is a fan.
So here they said, previously Apple announced plans to remove the home screen web apps capability in the EU as part of efforts to comply with the DMA. The need to remove the capability was informed by the complex security and privacy concerns associated with web apps to support alternative browser engines that would require building a new integration architecture that does not currently exist in iOS. We have received requests to continue to offer support for home screen web apps in the iOS. Are you concerned, Keyan? They were actually taking comments. There was a open web app. This one right here, the open web advocacy.
Advocacy. They had a survey. I went and filled it out, and I just let loose on Apple for their PWA stuff because we have a bunch of issues with their PWA support. I let loose on that in addition to them removing this from the EU and talking about our user base there. I think Apple doesn't care about the open. This suggests that, like their bugs and their PWA support currently suggests, they just don't care about the open web. They don't care about sites like Stacker News that can't afford to build for 10 different platforms, native applications.
It's because they're working on Apple Car, which they just canceled.
I think that's the thing. That's the thing that really kills me. It's not like they have to prioritize this way. They have like $1 trillion war chest that is just sitting in US dollars.
It's melting ice cube.
It's a melting.
That's why Saylor is going to buy them one day.
Saylor ain't gonna
book it. I'm putting it out there. It's going to happen now. Predictive programming. Saylor's going to buy Apple one day.
Are we predictive programming, Car?
We're living in predictive programming. I mean, have you heard of Dig? I'm just kidding. Anyways, what I was going to say is, yeah, man, and I've said this before. I think just Apple has lost its way. I mean, hats off to Tim Cook, man. He's literally turned it into
the Apple Vision Pro?
Well, let me just finish this thought. Okay. I think Tim Cook has done a marvelous job as far as like CEO and raising money and like he's just killing it, right? But I think there's just something there. Even I was on my phone today and I had to update the iOS thing, and like the way now whenever you send images to people like on iMessage, they're just like thrown in a scattered way. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, if Steve was around, this would never have happened. Like you would never seen just throwing photos like that on the screen. That just looks so messy. So it's just those little things over time. They're just, and there's probably a couple people still in Apple that have like the vision that Steve had. You know, I think that guy like Eddie Q's one of them, and
I would guess the majority probably.
I don't think so, man. I think they're just more towards profitability, and as he should. But it's just there's something lost there. It's just not the same Apple that I remember as a kid. Even my Mac is dying. It's not nearly lasting as long as it used to. So I don't know, man. I think I've been saying this. I think it's time for Bitcoiners to start making their own hardware. Anyways.
Maybe that's what I mean. If you're right, Saylor he'll buy Apple, start meditating, and start building Bitcoin Apple hardware.
And then I think that's all of it. So we're gonna jump into Meta now. Keyan, what's going on with Meta?
Yeah, so we're doing a new experiment with rewards, where instead of rewarding every day, we reward every month. So this is our current reward. It just started today.
You started today?
Yeah. And so we're giving out, we normally give out, since we had that bug a while ago and we got like 20 million sats were put off the site and then given back. We've been giving out those sats because I'm like, I want to punish myself for making this mistake. So we've been giving out those sats. This is part of that. We've been giving out about 3 million per month. But this time we're deciding to stack it all into one lump sum at the end of the month, and people will compete, as seen on this leaderboard, for a share of that 3 million sats. And we think that might lead to interesting changes in behavior. So I think people have a tendency to take for granted the small amounts of sats we're giving them every day. 1,000 here, maybe 1,000 to 5,000 sats for some of the bigger ones, even more, maybe 20,000
Yeah, where else do you get
sats.
sats like that?
But I think they end up taking it for granted. But when someone sends you 1 million sats, it's way you don't take that for granted, even though we're giving them the same amount on a daily basis. This is what the experiment is geared towards. Is like, do people's behavior change as a result of the time issue with money?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it looks like, look at all these stackers in hiding. Look at this. I knew this is Siggy.
Could be Siggy. Could be someone else. He's hiding himself for a reason. Car, doxing whoever that is.
Hey, I know where his sat. I mean, all the stackers know. We can't pull the wool over our heads. I don't know who this is.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean,
Undisciplined, number 3. Looks pretty. Darth Coin. What? Number 12?
Climbing the ranks. I think
David W. Whoa. David W. Look at that face.
Look at him. He's smiling.
Fabs. Elvis Mercury. Tamales is up there too. A lot of stackers I recognize. Who else? Oh, Server's there too.
Crypto Sensei.
Oh, Jimmy. Look at Jimmy. What if Jimmy wins this? Just takes the whole thing. I mean, he does have a cowboy hat.
Yeah, we'd have to get him a custom Stacker News cowboy hat.
Boomy? Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at all that. Blockchain Boog? Blockchain Boog? What?
Blockchain Boots thought they weren't going to be on the list, but look at that.
Look at that. Blockchain Boog. Zap it, Blockchain Boog. Yeah. Cool. Ooh, Peter Todd, too. Dang, dude. Good list. Wild Hustle. Oh, yeah. Even Max there. Look at that.
Oh, he's
Earthworm too. Wow. You know, I think the leaderboard, this might be.
I think even if we go back to daily rewards, we'll probably keep the leaderboard.
This might be pretty cool. This might be the better version of the cowboy hat thing. We'll see. The other release, what other release did you have?
Yeah, I forgot about this one, but they released this earlier in the week, I think, probably. But we released Crosspost. Austin, who I haven't seen for a few days, did Crosspost. He's probably recovering from shipping so hard. But configurable polls from MZ, who's a trial member. Founded territories are now shown in stackers' profiles. We evened out rewards to not switch back and forth between zapping and not. You can subscribe to territory posts. People should be getting a little more territory revenue because we weren't attributing comment revenue before. Yeah. And now zaps, custodial zaps can now be undone. Kind of like when you send off Gmail and it's like, do you want to unsend this really quick?
Oh, wow.
You do that with zaps now.
Look at that.
That's right.
It's awesome. Good work, Keyan.
That's it.
Good work. We're going to jump into the top stackers of the week. So let me ask you, so what will be the difference between this and the top stackers, the leaderboard and the top stackers?
So top stackers, this these are the most valuable people over the last 7 days. It's like a running week here is what you're looking at. So these are, if we did like a weekly rewards, they would go to these people here. If rewards were awarded right now and
Discipline's really killing it.
Back for a week, for a month, and so these are who the people who would have won for the last month if we were awarded right now. That's who you see in the month by value. But by value means how much value our algorithm feels they are contributing to Stacker News.
Look at this list, dude. It's crazy.
How they normally get rewarded and what order.
It's crazy. Even Darthcoin came back slashing people. Look at this. It's crazy, right?
I think yeah.
He came back.
He like lasers people or he chokes them.
Do you ever see the ending of Rogue One? Where he goes, like Darth Vader goes through those things and he just goes, that's what Darthcoin's doing right now. He's literally just going,
I don't know.
At the very, yeah, dude, that's like the best scene. It was so scary.
I'm watching Mandalorian for the first time right now.
The first season or the second season?
First season. I just started watching it.
That's pretty good.
A day or two ago.
You're going to love it.
Better than I thought.
Oh, it's really good. I was going to say, it's the last thing that Disney created that was actually really good.
I believe it.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the most boring segment. And it just got even more boring, Stackers, because my dark horse is gone now. Basically, he's just turned into the KR segment.
Oh, wow. He unhit himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why not? It's just KR segment now.
Dude.
Look at that jaw, though. I love that jaw.
Dude.
Chiseled.
Do you want to touch it?
No.
Sure.
But Earthworm. Look at Earthworm.
Earthworm. Earthworm is a different. Yeah, where is Carmen? Where'd he go?
He messaged me. He was just like, I'm out. I'm like, damn.
Dude, both him and Tony, they can't. Some mutiny, huh?
was that like a bazinga?
It was an attempt to be a bazinga.
That was good.
Yeah.
No, I think they're shipping, bro.
Of course they are. They're shipping. They took their ship all the way to another continent.
Dude, you're doxing them now.
I don't know,
man.
Where are they at? The Caribbean?
Nah, they should be back. You got Tony speaking at Startup Day, so that'll be cool. We hang out with the guys again. Obviously, I love Ben, but
yeah, I
guess this is really boring now. Should we cancel it, Snackers? Vote in the comments. Tell Keyan this is the most boring segment.
We don't cancel segments.
We have to cancel this segment.
We just keep adding them.
Now we're doing the leaderboard. Now we're doing cowboy segment. This is just
more and more segments.
This is just becoming awkward now.
We gotta get a weather. You want to be a weather guy? We gotta get a weather segment soon.
This way.
There's the Bitcoin. You want to talk about Bitcoin, the weather of Bitcoin price.
Anyways, that's
here's
this is the cowboy segment.
Cloudy.
It's literally flatline now. It's basically
great.
We'll never know who these other two people are.
Well, I mean, they're going to cover themselves.
It's basically it's basically Earthworm and KR now.
Catford's on the ranks. I'm one of the people in hiding.
Oh, is that what it is? So it's just a KR and Coop segment now. Makes sense.
Well, I'm sorry you guys can't hang. I mean, you guys should have more time to actually be participating on Stacker News than I do, to be honest.
What else do we do after this? After this, I think we're done, right? This is it. Cool. We're done with the end of the show. Keyan.
Well,
what are you doing this weekend? Can you have me my phone right there? I got to read the zaps. I think it's right there. Oh, no, it's right there. Oh, no, never mind. We'll
Let's do it. We'll read them. Why don't you tell us what you're doing this weekend?
We got one last workshop tomorrow. That'll be good. It's how to stay a compliant Bitcoin company by Simon. Maybe you should come to that, Keyan.
What?
I don't know if you heard me. It's how to stay a compliant Bitcoin company.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Just saying. Hey, man, we provide all sorts of education here at Plub Lab, even how to stay compliant. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I need a day off, dude. I just need like a full day to like sit at home and then because like this month in March is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be insane.
Right.
And I'm caught up, which is good. But anyways.
Cool. What are you gonna do? You're gonna like spa day? What's Car do?
No, so they actually redoing the pool at my place, so I can't do that anymore. But should be good. Let me see if I can find it. So what are you doing this weekend while I pull up all this stuff?
I think all the stuff that I wanted to do this week that I didn't do because I was working on Million Sat Madness. That'll probably be what I do. I had like plans for this week, and then we're like, how about, KR suggested we do Million Sat Madness, and I was like, okay. And then I ended up working on that most of the week instead, which, is fun. The result of it is fun, but the process of the work wasn't very enjoyable. But
yeah, you looked in it the other day. I saw you. I forget which day it was, but I was like, damn, this guy's
oh, was that the day you came to my office and you were shouting at me about what I should do?
That's every day. See, talking for the snackers. Yeah, cool. We got P.S. He says one of these little emoji stuff. Redio said boosted 1,000. Kepford said love the conversation, guys. Kepford said, Car, I agree with you about Stacker News. Conversations versus Twitter and nostr. There is no place like Stacker News for Bitcoiners. Let me see what else we got. Let me read these here. You got Blockchain Boog. There you go. He said, never thought about eCash that way, Car. Yellow flag. I can see it. Zap.
I think it was like Siggy. I think it was Siggy who came on the next day and he's like, I think he called you a man or the man. I think it was the man, but that's what he said. He was very happy that you had said.
I just think people are, I'm not going to talk about people, I'm talking about myself. I think for me personally, like, I like to sit in truth. I like to sit in the light and like to talk about these things. And I feel comfortable talking about these things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right or even I'm gonna, I just know that if you were to come to Pleb Lab and you were to ask me how I think about these things, I would tell you. And sometimes I'm forced to say these things on the air because there's a top story. Most of the times I don't want to talk about it.
I don't know. I feel like you were sitting on that one,
If the stackers voted, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about things I don't like.
That post wasn't even about eCash. You just went, I feel like you had it was a little baby for you. Like, not in a
little baby.
Not in a bad way, but like it was something you had on your mind. I
have a lot of things on my mind.
I know, but
you can literally say like, Car, who do you hope in that comes to ACL this year so you can see live? I'll tell you.
Who?
Where's Volta? But like, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it would be cool. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say.
Band I saw live in concert.
Really?
Yeah. At the Berkeley Amphitheater.
Anyway, yeah, it's stuff like that, dude. I'm not trying to like share my opinion everywhere I get. I mean, if you really want to hear my opinion, then go to thrillerbitcoin.com. That's where I put my opinion. This is just a show my BFF makes me do every week. And
we're back to that. We're back to that where you don't like doing this. And
it's not that I don't like it. I love doing it.
Go back.
I have fun doing it. It's not that I don't have fun.
As of like 4 episodes
but I'm
ago,
somebody that you probably shouldn't listen to as far as like my opinion. I'm like, I think you know this, Kent. Like, I am so far left of the murder when it comes to like this type of thing that I'm usually either exactly right or completely wrong.
Well, what I was saying is people appreciated your opinion, and I felt like you had that opinion pretty strongly because I think the post that we were talking about was mostly about like CTV and other stuff, and I think it mentioned vaguely eCash, and you just had very strong feelings about eCash, and I think a lot of people wanted to hear about eCash. So it was like it was a nice marriage in terms of like that's what people wanted to hear.
I think it's just like because all this stuff I read is on Stacker News, so it's like
the
stackers are talking about
a lot of eCash.
So
but it felt pent up, and it was great to get it out on air.
Yeah, so it looks like we got Bob says you are right, Car. Hey man, I'm not right,
dude. If Kepford says it,
and then we got Alex, big fan of Clams Tech, dude. That's awesome,
Alex.
I'm a big fan of Clams too. Branto was underrated. Yeah, it was.
I agree. They're doing something interesting.
It's very interesting. I've always thought, I feel like he's opening Pandora's box a little bit, but sometimes Pandora's box has to be open.
I think that, it's a bit hard to get a handle on, but I think there's obviously really interesting products that are built in that kind of space, like virus security space.
He pitched in front of Jack at Madeira.
Ooh.
So he got like top builder did its job. Soylent Green is made of people. Wait, is that a comment or is that in the movie?
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying. Did I not say that?
Maybe you did.
Yeah, it's made of people. That's what
Captain, my captain? Dude, we're getting a lot of comments. Are people watching this? Why are you guys watching? They
shouldn't be. What are you guys doing?
Oh my God.
What happened to you guys? Why?
Don't watch this show.
Is this an accident? Did someone...
Like, literally, I'm telling you guys, stop watching the show. Seriously. There's way better, more informed, richer Bitcoiners out there that you should be listening to.
Yeah, go talk.
We're just two poor plebs who make a minimum wage that you shouldn't be listening to. We're the last people you should listen to.
There are other popular Bitcoin podcasts where these guys have venture funds. You guys should go listen.
Shut up. Stop saying that. You're killing me. You're killing me.
Well, why? I mean, they have a bunch of money and the ability to deploy. Don't you want to watch them do that?
It's not a top 5 story, Keyan. It's not a top 5 story. It's not a top 5 story, Keyan.
I'm saying that they actually are. They're better Bitcoiners than I am. I'm not saying anything. I just thought that was interesting to say. I lost my co-host.
The next one we have, it's time for Bitcoiners to start doing their own web browser. Yes, dude, come on. That's what I was saying. If we get that guy from Japan, whoo, man, can't wait. Telling you. Stackers, if you're out there and you're building a Bitcoin browser, come to Plub Lab. I'll buy your plane ticket. Wild Hustle. Million Sat Madness will take a toll. Wild Hustle's mental health. Yeah, Keyan, what are you doing?
I don't know. I don't understand why it's like that much of a bigger deal.
Dude, people want the Bitcoin, bro. This is what happens when you start doing contests. You don't know this stuff because you don't run hackathons and top bidder competitions. But when
I'm not a hackathon mogul. Yeah,
hey, we're pretty good here at Plub doing our job. I'm just saying, like, when you start doing this, you start seeing the competitiveness come out of Bitcoiners. They love it. And this is what you're going to see. Well, and also, drop more of that alpha. I don't know what that means. Love the show. We love you. Listening and following are two different things. Oh, so here you go, Keyan. He's not listening to us or following us.
Wait, what is the... They are
you were saying earlier, like... listen to me or whatever you were saying. Yeah. Gefford's too smart for that. It's like, I'm going to listen to you guys. We're just entertaining to him. That's it.
Oh, I see. He's paying.
We're like Bert and Ernie. We're just entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Who is Bert? I think I'm Bert, right? And you're Ernie?
I don't know.
I think that's how
Bullish on Stacker News Live. Hey, I'm bullish on you. And I like to low-key chill vibes. There you go. And all the comments.
Wow. Guys, we made it through another week. It's a thing out there. It's air.
We're gonna go play pool now. Taking my friend Carlos here to go play some pool. That's what we're gonna do, Keyan.
What size table are you guys playing on?
Hey, I'm pretty good now.
Is it a small? Are you guys?
You're a pool shark, aren't you?
I wouldn't know. But is there like they have like a lot of bars have like a 7-foot table?
I think it's an 8-foot table.
Okay.
It's just down the street.
I think standard is what, like 9?
Yeah. Stackers, this weekend I want you to think about your life and how you want it to fit with Bitcoin. And then listen to it.
Listen to your life?
Listen to your life.
What does it sound like?
I've had like 4 Pacific.
What does a life sound like? You can't say shit to me like that.
Wait, we got one more. It's okay. We like chill show.
Cool. That's what we got.
All right, Keyan.
All right. Zap.